I'm Adrian, the Cruise and Travel Guy, and even before Tropical Cyclone Alfred descends on southeast Queensland and northern New South Wales, people are very much in the dark about what to do about their upcoming cruises that are scheduled to sail from Brisbane this week. So let's talk about it. Remember when it's time to book your next cruise? Remember when it's time to plan your next cruise? Head to my website first, where you can search, compare, and book. Tropical Cyclone Alfred is expected to make landfall in the Gold Coast area between Coolangatta and as far north as the Sunshine Coast Thursday night or into Friday morning. That coincides with a very busy week for the port of Brisbane, which is likely to be closed from today through to Friday. Yesterday, Pacific Encounter managed to get away. It docked in the morning and was out in the early afternoon. That was made possible because that ship had a pilot embarked throughout the previous cruise, and that pilot is still on board and will remain on board for this next cruise, which is scheduled to conclude on Saturday. Carnival Luminosa, meanwhile, was meant to sail from Brisbane tomorrow, March 6th, but up until this point, there has been no official or further guidance from Carnival about the status of that cruise. Their last guidance to anyone that was provided in writing was for booked guests not to head to Brisbane International Cruise Terminal. The problem with this is that people are now in the dark and very unclear about what that means. As much as they're being told not to go to the terminal, does that mean that the ship will sail on Friday, on Saturday? Not at all. And many people will be flying into Brisbane or driving into Brisbane in potentially dangerous weather. It would be much better for Carnival to make the commitment or decision to cancel the cruise, or at least provide people with an option to cancel that cruise or that voyage for, at minimum, a future cruise credit. Meanwhile, Royal Caribbean's Quantum of the Seas is set to sail from Brisbane on Friday, March 7th, and there have been no official updates provided by Royal Caribbean to do with this cruise at all. According to passengers currently on board Quantum of the Seas, and thank you to Peter, shout out to Peter for this information, the guidance provided by the captain on board currently is that the crew are maintaining contact with the Port of Brisbane and head office, and of course they're monitoring the situation. The ship is nowhere near the cyclone, so those people are completely fine and safe. But again, the issue has to do with people that are scheduled to meet Quantum of the Seas on Friday. The reality is that people can't just make a decision without knowing officially from the cruise line what is transpiring. It is very unlikely that either cruise will be departing. I mean, it's almost guaranteed that they will not be departing. But people need to know this. People have made other arrangements, people have flights, and frankly, people will now have their thoughts and interests in potentially protecting their property and of course their families, and the last thing they need is to worry about a cruise that is booked. Anecdotally, and according to the Port of Brisbane, there is potentially going to be a rejig of the schedule that will see a number of ships in Brisbane Port on Sunday, including Luminosa, Quantum of the Seas, and potentially even Pacific Encounter, which at this stage is still scheduled to sail from Brisbane on Saturday. All of that is up in the air, so do not take it as gospel under any circumstances. Wait until the cruise line has provided you with information. And on that note, Royal Caribbean and Carnival and P&O, please provide information. Make a decision, cancel these cruises if you have to do that. Give people the option of taking a future cruise credit. People cannot be waiting until the last minute to see what will or will not happen. They have other priorities at the moment, including their own safety. So this needs to be done. Literally, even airlines have come to the party, so I think it's time the cruise lines do the same. Well, that's it for this little update. We'll stay on top of everything. I'm always posting on the Cruise and Travel Guy Facebook page, my Facebook page, so head over there for the latest updates. When things are shared by the cruise lines, I'm reposting them. I'm trying not to get too much into the possibilities and anecdotal things. Don't take anything for gospel unless you see it from the cruise line itself. If you have travel insurance, inquire with them as to the status of your potential claim. If you have to make one, find out what you will be able to claim for. So contact your insurer in case you have to cancel without the cruise line making the decision. Anyway, that's it for now. Follow along on Facebook and Instagram at The Cruise and Travel Guy, and I'll see you soon. And stay safe.